Yo, yo, yo. Change it up from what's up, what's up. Today we're bringing the X-Men Classics Iceman variant, Bobby Drake. Now, this figure here, sorry if my voice is off. There's some kind of cold going around. I'm sick, but I committed to Saturday, so I'm going to do this, man. I'm doing it. Anyways, this was the variant that came out in the X-Men Classics in this uniform. This Bobby Drake here in this uniform showed up a few times in the 90s X-Men cartoon. What I mean by a few times is twice. He was in there twice in 2 episodes. It was a 2-part episode. And that was it, man. Didn't ever see him on that 90s cartoon again. But you will also recognize this from a few of the older comics. And like I said, this was a variant. There was another one, which was the Iceman that came in the regular package. And then the Ultimate Iceman, which is another variant. How hard is this figure to get? I wouldn't say, from scale 1 to 10, I'd say it's maybe a 7 or a 6. It's not too hard to get, and, you know, not as hard as the Annihilus or all these other figures. Here we have the other figures from the wave. The rest of these figures. It was quite a few waves. This was back in 2006. There's a good old Toybiz emblem. And these were, you know, kind of like, I guess, a line came along with Marvel Legends. And it was kind of like a sideline, kind of like I would call it like a complimentary line to Marvel Legends. You know, kind of just concentrating on X-Men characters and X-Men villains in their different various uniforms, which was really cool. That would be awesome if Hasbro did something like this besides Marvel Legends. You know, in the scale of Marvel Legends, they decided to do maybe some X-Men characters. That would be awesome. That's going on my wall. Now let's move on to the figure I have here loose. This figure I've only used a few times. His joints are really tight. I hate moving him around too much just because, like I said, he's an expensive figure. He usually sells for anywhere from $70 to $100 for this figure. Kind of same price up there as Deadpool. Here this has wheels. He came with the classic ice sled. You guys see that 3 peg holes? You guys probably recognize this, you know, from some of the comics. Usually this is how he gets around. You know, even the Super Friends, Spidey and Super Friends. You see him getting around like this, kind of shooting ice in front of him and sliding. You can see here it's got kind of a whitewash. This plastic was this base was done in a clear plastic, and then it was kind of you know, like dry brushed with white and coated with a clear blue. Anyways, let's get into the figure. A lot of you will recognize this mold. It's the same mold that was used for Deadpool. You know, because he's got those ball shoulder joints. Check it out. Like I said, this figure I don't ever move him. The joints are really tight. Let's get a good look at his face here. Good sculpt here by Toybiz. Good little paint job there. You know, he's got some dry brushing in the hair. Looks good. Get another side view here. And the back view. You can also see some dry brushing on the blue. Kind of like a light white. And the front here too, the X emblem. Pretty clear. Now, see the shoulders? It's kind of chipped on the paint there. The dreaded big shoulders. That's something I'd probably have to clear off. Clear off some of the paint. It's supposed to be a blue under there, but you know, some of the paint oversprayed onto the joints, and that's even on the ball joints in the bottom. So you know, gotta get something. Anyways, head articulation, shoulder articulation. It's also got that extra shoulder joint. We got the swivel, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. We also got the forearm swivel. We've got a forearm swivel, finger swivel. Same here on this side. Torso swivel, ab joint. He's also got those famous Toybiz hip joints. There, once again, the paint oversprayed, so I gotta, you know, kind of scrape that off slowly, so it should just stay blue. Their paint jobs weren't always that great on Toybiz. They're a little sloppy sometimes. You can see on the legs, you know, the lines weren't always crisp and straight. You know, I mean, you know, a little flaw that they had. However, their paint apps were and still are a lot better than the paint apps that Hasbro does. Double jointed knees, got the calf swivel, we've got the toe articulation, back and forward, and a little bit of ankle pivot. Once again, it's joints are tight. Let me see if I can get this side to move. Real tight joints, so I'm not going to move them around too much. Anyways, this is an awesome figure, another one of my favorites here. If you guys are okay with me doing reviews on really rare and awesome, hard to get figures, I'd like to continue. If you guys are okay with that, and eventually I'm going to move on to doing the entire Marvel Legends line and X-Men Classics line. I feel that since I have every figure, it would be fair to just review all these figures. And if for some of you completists out there, or for some of you guys that want to collect the entire Marvel Legends line, it'll kind of give you guys a rough view of every figure that's available out there. So if I can review every single figure ever made, maybe it'll help you guys on your hunt. Or some of you guys that just want certain characters, maybe this will help you decide if you want to buy or spend that kind of money on that character. It seems like Marvel Legends are just going up in price. So, some of you might not want to be completists. Some of you just might want to buy, certain characters. And, if the characters are rare or hard character to get and you're doubting whether or not to spend that money, then you can always come to Solid Snake and see a review and see if it's worth your time. So just let Solid spend the money, and then you guys can decide whether you want it or not. Anyways, if you guys are enjoying the vids and you guys want me to continue to do this, let me know, man. And I'll continue to pump out these rare figures. And like I said, I have one mint in card and one loose of every Toybiz figure that was released in the 6-inch scale. Like I said, guys, I'll eventually move on to doing the rest of the figures. Like I said, it's probably one of the best ways for me to share my entire collection with you guys. Anyways, see if I can get him on this ice sled here. His hands don't quite fit into the holes in the sled, and you don't want to force him in there just because you don't want to end up snapping a finger off, or just breaking a joint or something. So, not the greatest pose in the world, but, it'll work. And also the Ultimate Iceman that was in this wave was the one with he's basically looks like Iceman, but he has an armband and he's wearing a bandana. And then there's the regular Iceman that also came in this series, and they all are sporting the same body mold. Which has the shoulder ball joints. It's not that it's not that bad of a mold. The shoulder joints or whatnot. It just doesn't look natural to me. Those shoulders sticking out like that. It's never been a natural look for me. So it's as much as I like this figure, it just doesn't look right. I wish the shoulder balls were tucked in a bit more. And there's ways to do it and keep articulation. The evolution of Toybiz, and their dream of making these articulated comic figures that are similar to Sculpt, similar to that of Sideshow and Hot Toys, and shrinking them down to 6 inches, evolutionary. Why Hasbro didn't continue with the trend, I don't know. They took a realistic figure and they turned it into more of a cartoonish looking figure. Who knows, maybe with 2012 coming around the corner, they might just jump back and try to do figures the older way, similar to Toybiz, which would be nice. I think most people would want that. More of the fans want to see that older style come back with tons of articulation. I mean, the sculpts are great on Hasbro, but it seems like their paint apps and their articulation are still lacking. The paint apps have been pretty decent, like the Winter Soldier and the Black Widow. However, they're still suffering in articulation. Once every now and then when I pick up one of my Toybiz figures and I fiddle with it, it just amazes me. The articulation amazes me and it blows me back every time. And I'm like, wait a minute here. Why are we being too easy on Hasbro, and letting them get away with not giving us enough articulation, especially if we're going to be paying $35 plus tax for a 2-pack. Anyways, guys, enough ranting about that. Here's your X-Men Classics Toybiz Bobby Drake variant in the 6-inch fully posable figure. Great for your Marvel Legends collection, and hopefully I've given you enough reason to hunt for them. You're better off waiting for an auction unless you want to pay $100, and there's about 3 of them on eBay right now. Anyways, good luck, guys, and give a thumbs up. Later.